We have demon comets in the sky. We've got Nephilim being found. We've got 8 demonic items that you need to be careful about. Kanye West is no longer walking with Jesus, and Red Heifer becomes reality. That sacrifice, you got to hear about this in the top story. I'm John Matarazzo for charismanews.com, and these are your top stories of the week. Is it the Nephilim? 10-foot tall human remains found in Nevada. These are massively larger than the average size human, some as much as 10 feet tall. 10-foot tall giants were discovered in mummified state and even with red hair. It's very interesting here. This is part of the Lovelock giants in those caves. And this is worth asking the question, are these the remains of Nephilim that the Bible talks about in Genesis chapter 6, and also about the mighty men of old and the giants that were in the land of Canaan? Could these be Nephilim as well? Very interesting. You got to check that out. Kanye West revokes his Christian faith and calls himself God. I don't really think that that's much of a surprise there. But in this article, Kanye says, I have my issues with Jesus. He didn't show up. I didn't see Jesus show up. He believes that Christianity is too dependent on prayer instead of taking action. And he says that I am God, and anyone to disagree, I am God of me. Please keep Kanye West in your prayers. He is a very strong influencer in our culture. And when he was on the side of Jesus, it was a very good influence, and we need to be praying for him. Brace yourself for the devil comet during the Purim blood moon eclipse. So there is the great American eclipse that is happening on April 8th, but there's also the Purim celebration, the blood moon eclipse during that. And then we have a devil comet that actually looks like it has horns based on the descriptions of it, because there's some chunks of ice that have formed, and it actually looks like it has devil horns. So it's called the Devil's Comet. Also, we have 8 demonic items that you need to get out of your house. Vlad Savchuk identifies 8 objects associated with demonic spirits that you need to get rid of immediately. Some of these are any Native American jewelry, pottery, or symbols that were created with the intention of acting as a spirit guide. So that's not necessarily those pottery or jewelry, but things that were made with the intention of being a spirit guide. There's some very interesting things on this list that you might need to look into your house to see if you have any of these things. Now, the link to this article, as well as all the other ones that I'm mentioning, are in the description below, so check that out. But everything is at charismanews.com. Now, the biggest article, and this was just posted yesterday, and it has by far become our most popular article right now. The massive altar for the red heifer sacrifice is constructed in Israel. Now, we've been reporting on the red heifer's, let's say, exodus to the promised land. These 5 red heifers made it from Texas to the promised land. They're basically being prepared for a sacrifice. And so this is an article by Michael Snyder. And since the time of Moses, only 9 red heifers have ever been sacrificed. And now this massive altar for the 10th red heifer sacrifice has been built in Israel. And there is a tremendous amount of speculation that it could happen soon. Passover is just around the corner at the end of April. And so there's a lot of speculation that this is going to be happening, that this sacrifice will be happening shortly before or in correlation with Passover. This is a very interesting read, and it is something that you need to follow because it is the signs of the times. We need to be looking up for what's happening in Israel and being aware of these things that are happening. So definitely check this stuff out. Go to charismanews.com and click the links in the description below for the latest articles, and stay connected with us because you never know what's going to be coming out, and you want to be able to tackle the world breaking news from a spiritual perspective.